Hello squad, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something that I haven't done in quite a while, and that is sharing a secondhand haul with you. If you guys are familiar with my channel, you know that I kind of started with sharing yard sale hauls, sharing thrift hauls. I love sharing the things that I have bought. And at the end of the day, my hope is always that you will come away with some inspiration from what I share. So today, I'm super excited to be participating in a collaboration with Sarah from Work Life Glue. So I'm gonna let her tell you a little bit about her video and then we will jump into mine.
Hey guys, Sarah here from Work Life Glue. I am so excited to be part of Kellie's video. I am a mom of 3 little girls, ages 6, 4, and 1. I love creating balance that sticks, and I love thrifting for kids' clothes. As you can see next to me, I just spent $90 at our local Savers thrift store using sales and making the most of a ton of tips that I am sharing over on my channel. So after you watch Kellie's amazing video, I would love if you would check out mine as well over on Work Life Glue, where I have tons of tips for busy moms. I would love to see you over there after this video.
All right, so when you guys get finished with my video, make sure you go and check out Sarah's if you haven't already watched hers. I know that she has a lot of tips from her unique perspective, so I'm excited to see what she has to share. All right, so for my video today, you guys know that thrifting yard sales is very familiar territory for me. It's something that I love a lot. It's the way that I clothe our family. It's the way that we decorate our house. It's the way that we stock our kitchen. This is one of my newest things that my husband got me. It is a tumbler from the brand TAL or Tall, and I am just loving the color of it. I'm loving the size of it, and I'm able to use the straws that I already had. So my spin on this video today is a little bit of a different approach. I shopped for kids' clothes, but they're actually not all for my kids, and they're actually not clothes to go in my house. So what did I thrift for, you might ask? So my parents sent me on an assignment. They said, we really want to have clothes to pick from for all of the grandkids that are kept at our house in case of accidents, in case at a sleepover someone forgets something. So this is the start of a collection of clothing for my parents' house. So I want to go through and give you my helpful tips first, and then at the end I'm going to show you a haul of what all I got. So make sure you stick around for that. I do still have things that I want to find for each of the kids. I want to get them each a set of pajamas. I'd like to get them each some underwear, and that I will buy brand new. But like I said, this is a starting point. So before we get started, I will tell you how much I spent, and I'll tell you how many pieces of clothing I got. All right, so before I tell you the total, it is important to note that there are 5 grandkids. So I was able to buy 2 outfits for each child. So that's a total of 20 pieces of clothing or 10 outfits. And then I was able to buy 4 jackets. So that's 24 items of clothing if you're keeping track. I'm actually really excited because I did my math wrong in my head when I was thinking about my totals, because I did 2 different thrift hauls and I was combining them together. I actually did my math wrong. So when I added it up with the calculator, I only spent $30 on these 24 items. So I'm going to show you these tips and show you exactly how I did it. So the first tip is to go often. I usually go thrifting once a week or once every week and a half, but it's also important to note that I have a thrift store very close in proximity to me, and it is a good thrift store. So Sarah mentioned that in one of her tips, but knowing your thrift stores and knowing which ones are the good ones, that's something that's really important. We are blessed to have one that is close by to us, and that's where I do a lot of our shopping just because it's convenient. I also do a lot of our shopping there because they have good prices, and I will touch on that in a later tip. This next tip is one that I believe Sarah is going to share as well, and that is just to look in all of the sizes. And there's a few different reasons for this. You know, when you're shopping, sometimes things don't always get stuck back exactly where they are supposed to be. So oftentimes I will find a 3T shirt in the 24-month section, and so on and so forth. Sometimes things aren't where they are meant to be. Also, because thrifted clothes are gently used, they will oftentimes be pre-shrunk. They've already been washed, they've already been dried. So when you look at a shirt, even though it's sized 24 months, it might have shrunk and it might fit more like an 18-month or a 12 to 18-month. So it's really important that you just don't discount a size that is above or below where your child currently is. The way that I shop, I actually do also shop for my kids a size or two ahead because I have room in the top of their closets that I can store clothing. I know a lot of people are not like that. A lot of people may not desire to be that way, or they may not have that storage space. But for me, it's so nice as we're approaching a new year and a new season to go, wait a minute, let me see what I have. And if you want to see a video about how I created that inventory for my kids' clothing, I have a whole video. I'll link it up here and down below. But yes, don't just discount a size just because that's not the size that your child is in right now. Things can vary and it's important to look at all of them. All right, the next tip is probably my favorite and one that I'm really passionate about, and that's just because I feel like a lot of people don't know this tip. And that is to know your price difference between yard sales, thrifting, and consignment stores. So of course, with my channel name being Yard Sale Squad, I have a special place in my heart for yard sales. I love the thrill of the chase. I love getting out on a warm spring morning, summer morning, and just going treasure hunting. This is where you will find the best bargains. On average, you're going to spend between $0.25 and $1 for a single item of clothing. Really, at a yard sale, you should not be spending over $1 for children's clothing. Sometimes for a piece of clothing, for me, if it's something I really like, I will spend upwards of $3 per item. But I really don't exceed that, and a lot of times I keep that $1 mark for clothing for myself as well. I talk a lot about bargaining at yard sales, and it can be something that's a little bit tricky if you've never done it before. I always do it in a way that is respectful and in a way that they have the opportunity to say no. So this is something that you don't have the opportunity to do at a lot of thrift stores. I know at our thrift store, what the price is on the tag is what you pay. But at yard sales, these are somebody's things and you're dealing with them personally. You have the option to say, would you take 50 cents? Or what is your best price? Or you have the option to group items together and say, what would you take for all of this? If that's nerve-wracking for you, I totally understand, but just know that that is the territory of yard sales. If you host a yard sale, you expect for people to kind of bargain with you and haggle with you. I don't like that term, but haggle with you a little bit. But as long as it's done in a respectful manner, there's nothing wrong with it. All right, so from there we graduate to thrift stores. Thrift stores for kids items, you're going to look at spending anywhere from $1 to $5 a piece. Usually at my thrift store, I'm looking at $1 to $2. If you're going somewhere more mainstream like Goodwill, you're going to expect to see $3 or $4 per item. So those are the prices that you can expect. So when we get into thrift stores, you also have to keep in mind that these items have been at least sifted through a little bit. So with yard sales, you're starting at that bottom price. You're also looking at digging through a box of clothing, digging through a tarp where they've just dumped clothes out in their driveway, you know, and that's just kind of the nature of it. You get that lower price because you are doing that digging. At the thrift store, the price is a little bit higher because they've dug through things, but you still may find some items with stains. You still may find some items with little holes. Speaking of that, whenever you go thrifting, it's important to know what stains you realistically think you can remove and what stains you cannot. There have been times when I've bought things hoping to get the stain out, and I'll show you an instance here that I was hopeful and it didn't work. All right, you guys, so this is the dress that I was talking about. I found it at Goodwill. I had a store credit that I needed to use. The brand I'm unfamiliar with, it's called Penelope Mac Limited. So I'm gonna have to look that up. The label kind of looks vintage to me. I'm not sure. But anyway, I bought this for my daughter because I was just in love with it. But it does have a little small stain, and the stain is right here. I thought maybe I could get it out, but anyway, I have washed it twice. I've hit it with, I think, every stain remover that I have, and it is still persisting. she's gonna wear it anyway because of the pattern that it is and because of the placement of the stain. It's not such a big deal, but you do have to know that going into shopping secondhand. I didn't know what that stain is. I still don't know what it is, but whatever it is pretty persistent, and I was unable to get it out. But I'm going to show you a piece of clothing that I got in this haul that I was actually able to rescue, and now it looks good as new. All right, I am in my laundry room and I am putting everything in for the wash that I got from the thrift store. And I want to show you this shirt. So I hope that you can see, and I hope that it's showing up on your screen, that we have a little grease oil type stain right here. I noticed it when I bought it, and I bought it anyway. The old me would not have bought this. But because of this stain remover, I now occasionally buy a shirt that I otherwise would have not bought if it's got an oil stain, because this stuff is that good. You can buy it on Amazon. They have their own website. I do have a promo code if you want to get it from their website. You have to reach a certain amount before you get free shipping. But these are the stains that it works on, and it also has a list here of the different enzymes that it breaks down. So it talks about these 6 enzymes eliminate the source. So it talks about each enzyme and the stains that it attacks. So this lipase right here is evidently what attacks the oils. Listen, I'm not a scientist, but this stuff works. So for all other stains, I usually just use OxyClean or something like that. But for grease and oil stains, I use this. I've had friends who use it. I've had family who uses it and have great results. I will say I always follow the tough stains regimen. I do not follow just spray and wait 15 minutes. I spray it and I rub it together with, just the fabric, or I rub it with a toothbrush, and then I do wait overnight, or all day if I'm waiting to do it in the evening, and then I will just wash as normal. And I do wash these on warm, even though it's colored, because I think that it helps to get that stain out better. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put all these things in, and anything that has a little stain I'm going to address. This is really the only thing that I know of. So just know when you go to thrift stores, people are sifting through them, and it is a little bit more curated than yard sales, but you may also find pieces with some imperfections. And then from thrift stores, we graduate to consignment stores. So of course at consignment stores, that is going to be probably where you're going to find the nicer clothes of all 3. That's not necessarily true, but if you're wanting to do a one-stop shop, that's kind of where you go. When you go to a consignment store, usually the price per clothing item is going to be anywhere from $3 to $10, depending on what the item is, depending on the brand name, all of those factors. These items have been bought from people. So people sell their clothing to these stores. They turn away a lot of clothing. They want to make sure that what they have on those racks is what is going to be able to sell. So I think it's important to know that differentiation when you go shopping. So the way that I was able to get so many items for such a low price was because I limited myself to going to our local thrift store. I knew that the clothes that I was taking to my parents' house were not going to need to be the best of the best. They just needed to be good quality pieces that could get dirty, that could be played with, and could be kept at my parents' house. So I didn't even give myself the option of going to the consignment store, because for this assignment, it wasn't necessary. Maybe if you're looking for Easter Sunday or family pictures, you want to start at a consignment store or a consignment sale. But for this purpose, I thought the thrift store would just be the perfect place, and it turned out that was right. All right, 2 more tips here before we get into the haul. This tip is the 3 S's of shopping with kids secondhand. So I'm gonna go back in time and I'm gonna show you, as I'm getting ready to go in the thrift store, what the 3 S's are and how I use those to my advantage. All right, we are going thrifting. Today is my 2nd day in a row thrifting. We are looking for clothes for my parents to kind of build the wardrobe for the grandkids. I only have 1 kid in tow with me today, but I wanted to interject a quick tip for going thrifting with kids. So just remember the 3 S's: snacks, straps, and setting a timer. Yes, I just made that up. I'm flying by the seat of my pants here, but it really is true. Snacks. For us, that needs to be something high interest so that it keeps them busy. For my kids, that includes an actual snack, and then it also includes these. They're very motivated by suckers. They're not too terribly messy, so usually a thrift trip will include a snack and some suckers. The second S is straps, and of course that is being strapped into a stroller. If we're going on a trip to some store and it's not a huge grocery haul where I need a cart, we do much better to do a stroller and have the kid or kids strapped into a stroller, and then I have the place underneath where I can set things. If I'm doing clothing, I can also use the back of the stroller to hang my hangers on. That works so much better. I can stick things down below, and the kids stay much more content and contained in the stroller versus in a cart. And then last is setting a timer. If you are familiar with thrifting, or if you're not, you can easily get lost and you can just gobble up 30 minutes or an hour with the blink of an eye. So when we go in, I usually try to set a timer. That helps me, but that also helps the kids, so we know what to expect and I know how much time we have to spend. And my last tip is that practice makes better practice. So it's important to remember, if you've never been thrifting before, it may feel daunting. It may feel gross or kind of beneath you. It's important to remember that you have to start somewhere, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you will get. Also, everything can be washed. There are great channels in addition to mine that talk about how to wash and clean and care for secondhand items. I will link a few of my favorite Instagram and YouTube channels down below that are great thrifting resources. So I'm gonna turn around here to the bed and I'm gonna share my haul with you. I'm not a huge brand name person. It doesn't matter so much to me the name on the clothing item, as long as the quality is good and as long as I like the piece. But I will tell you that I found brand names like Abercrombie Kids, Zara Kids, Cat and Jack, Crown and Ivy. So there are a lot of brand names here among these thrifted pieces. So let's go and I'll show you what I got. All right, you guys, so here is a bird's eye view of everything, but I am going to put the outfits on the bed just by grandkids, so that way you can kind of see them a little bit closer up. But there is kind of a glance at all of the outfits. All right, so here's my first set of outfits. This is the one that I mentioned that is Zara Baby, and none of this stuff was all together. I just found things that I thought matched nicely. So these pants are actually from Old Navy. They've got the little ruffle on the back. So Old Navy pants and a Zara top there. This is the one, if you remember, that I used that stain remover on. And it's so funny how confidently I just say it's going to take it out, because I just know it will. It does such a good job. So this is a Cherokee shirt, and I paired it with these Cat and Jack pants. I normally might pass on these just because this little sparkle does tend to fade in areas, and you can kind of see it's not bright all over. But since these are backup clothes, since they are play clothes, I was a little more lenient than maybe I normally would be if I was picking out something that would be like in the mainstream wardrobe. Then for the next grandkid, I got this sweatshirt that says I love you. It's from Garanimals. And then to pair with it, I got these Crown and Ivy baby pants, and they are navy and they just have little ruffles at the bottom. The next outfit is just this chambray shirt. It is the brand Just One You by Carter's, and I just ran an iron over it. And then to pair with it, I have this little pair of no brand pants. I don't know what brand they are, and they just have flowers and butterflies on them. This jacket is Carter's, and this is actually going to be shared by the two youngest kids because they're about the same size. It is in great shape. It's floral, and it's got these little pockets on the side. The next two outfits are for Abram. I got him two different pairs of sweatpants. This pair here is Old Navy. Not really a color that reflects my personality, but he picked them out, so we went with those. And then I paired it with this Cherokee brand 3-button shirt. The second pair of sweatpants is Garanimals brand, and I think that this will be a really comfortable material. And then to pair with that, I have a Children's Place 3-button shirt. I was pretty excited about the jacket that I found for Abram. He does have a heavier Carhartt jacket that was thrifted that stays at my parents' house, but this is just a nice lighter option. It is a Polo Ralph Lauren jacket, and other than the black just being slightly faded, it's really in excellent shape, and I think this will be the perfect type of jacket to have as a play jacket at their house. For the next grandkid, I have these two outfits here. This first one is a Cat and Jack button-up, and I love the fact that this could be worn by itself, or it can be layered on to maybe what she's already wearing if she gets a little bit chilly. The pants that I paired with it are just this pair of Children's Place yoga pants. And then I thought this Oshkosh shirt was cute that says always running latte. And then I paired it with these Gymboree pants in a matching color and pattern. For this grandchild, I found a purple hoodie that is a zip up, and I think that the lightweight will be a good option for keeping at grandparents' house for layering also. And it is the brand Hang 10. The last set of outfits is this Children's Place solid pink shirt. I paired it with these pants that are from Old Navy. They almost look like boy pants to me, so I'm going to get her to try them on. If they are in fact boys, then I am just going to hang on to them and put them back until my son can wear them, because they are a really nice pair of skinny jeans. Ideally, I want to get her a pair of soft pants that are more play pants like everybody else has, but on the particular day we went, they did not have any in her size that I liked. This cute little striped shirt here is Janie and Jack. And I have just paired it with these Abercrombie Kids skinny jeans. And the last item that I found is just this Sherpa pullover. It is by Wonder Nation, and it's got a little half zip, and then it has pockets in the front. All right, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this haul. All of these have been washed, and so I am going to fold them and take them to my parents' house, and they will be ready for grandkids whenever they need them. If you have grandkids or maybe a nanny or a babysitter in your life, this can be a great way to stock them with items that they need without spending a lot of money. Another great idea plays off of an idea from Hillary at Old World Home. She talks about stocking her car with a spare outfit for each kid in case of accidents, and she just keeps it in a little container, a little plastic bag underneath her seat. I'm actually going to borrow this idea and do the same thing in my car, and those items are going to be secondhand items. They're going to be our pieces of clothing that are good pieces but not our favorites, and they will just always be stored in our car. So again, that can be a great thing for you, for nannies, for babysitters, for grandparents, without spending a lot of money. I would love to know down in the comments if you guys secondhand shop and how you use that for yourself and your family. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you supporting this channel. Make sure if you liked this video, you click that subscribe button, that you give me a thumbs up, and again, leave me a comment. I love interacting with you guys in the comments. Also, if you would like to see more day-to-day content, then you can follow me at Yard Sale Squad on Instagram. I will put my channel name here. All right, thank you guys so much, and I will be talking to you soon.